Hi there, I'm Mila Sipka, and this is the Apatros Review. Now in this episode we look at the film Someone Behind the Door, which was one of Charles Bronson's French films, actually one of his European films. Now this film was also titled Two Minds for Murder and Brain Kill. It's a French-Italian co-production. It premiered in France on the 28th of July 1971, then in Italy on the 21st of August 1971, then it had its American premiere in San Francisco on the 15th of September 1971, then in New York City on the 8th of December 1971, and then in the United Kingdom on the 17th of March 1972, and was released in Australia, my home country, sometime in 1976. It was directed by Nicolas Gesner and was adapted from a French novel and play. It stars Charles Bronson, Anthony Perkins, Gilles Ireland, and Henry Garcin. And this is actually one of the easiest Charles Bronson films to find. It has been in the public domain circuit for years alongside Cold Sweat. Numerous public domain DVDs tend to have average picture quality. That being said, there are some restored prints out there, so just keep an eye out for that. Now, one of the last films in the European film career of legendary action hero Charles Bronson, before he moved back to the United States to become a more standard type of action hero, he made this 1971 flick when he was 49 years of age, and got a salary of a cool $500,000, placing himself in with his wife Jill Ireland and Anthony Perkins, who he got along with rather nicely. In this rather stagey, it was based on a play, psychological drama thriller, where Bronson plays the Stranger, a psychotic amnesiac mental hospital escapee who murders a young woman on a French beach before being picked up across the English Channel in the UK, where he is used by the psychiatrist Lawrence Jeffries, Anthony Perkins, in a role that fits him like a nicely tight pair of underpants, as a pawn in Jeffries' plan to force his cheating wife, Frances, Jill Ireland, still as mediocre an actress as ever, to return to him by having the stranger trick him to believing Frances is his wife, and to get him to murder Frances' lover. To be honest, Someone Behind the Door, which is not the easiest of titles when it comes to matching the story of the film was retitled with the better title Two Minds for Murder in the United Kingdom theatrically, and then for the British video market retitled Brain Kill. This is one of those Eurotrash thrillers that tries hard to trick the viewer into thinking it's one of the smartest films around, only to fall flat on its ass, thanks to some narrative inconsistencies and a premise that just won't find today's rather sensitive climate. I mean, the idea of a shrink explaining a patient's amnesia to having murdered his wife's lover is just plain whacked, and a very messed up idea, particularly when you have a classic psycho like Anthony Perkins playing the part of the smarty-pants shrink, who loves the challenge to use his brain matter to plan what seems to him to be the perfect murder, just to teach his cheating wife a lesson. This is essentially a play between three primary characters, sorry, two of which provide good performances. You know, for all the critical flack Bronson got from the critics during the 1980s for his apparent lack of acting, he actually provides enough skill here in this film to put down any of those critics in the same manner he would put down any of the muggers he dealt with in the Death Wish franchise. His expressions are very animated for a guy with a granite slab of a face, and Bronson goes through the film with an enthusiasm that probably would have outstripped the others in the cast, were it not for Anthony Perkins matching his enthusiasm with his trademark classic sinisterness. As for Jill Ireland, look, I know she'll always be known as the love of Bronson's life, but in all honesty she was never a decent actress, as she fails to convince in the role here. The ending also comes with an abrupt ambiguity that effectively kills the story's conviction with the stranger cast out of the house after completing the mission, as well as getting enough of his memory back to remember what he did on the beach after he escaped from the loony bin, while the shrink and his wife just sit there locked in an endless stare, while the closing credits roll to the sound of a beating heart, which does have something of an unsettling feeling as the sequence is run to a length long enough to annoy the shit out of the average viewer. Not the best Bronson film, even from his European phase, but if you're a Bronson fan and in the need of something to show those highbrow critics that Bronson can indeed act with a damn, then this is definitely the one to pick. Given it is squarely in public domain, it will be easy to find a copy if you know where to look. Someone Behind the Door turns out to be a C, 4 out of 10 behind the Apatros screening door. The odd logic goose robbed this of being a potentially passable film, but for Charles Bronson fans this will be an interesting choice for elevated music, as it is a strictly average film. But like I said, if you're a Bronson fan, this is definitely worth getting. Now for gore nudity, no gore present, but we get to see a sexy photo of Jill Ireland lying on a couch completely nude, but lying down in a position where only the side of her body is visible. No sensitive stuff seen. More of an artistic display than your average dirty selfie. Now, I did mention that this film is in public domain. In fact, this and Cold Sweat are the two Bronson films that are the easiest to find. You can find it practically anywhere that as public domain DVDs. So it'll be pretty easy to find. There are restored prints out there as well. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, I do not do requests, but if you want to have a particular film in my collection, or if you have any questions about DVDs or films, just hit me up in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer. Take it easy, guys, and see ya.